Can you legally record the police? Yes, you can, but like most things in law, the real answer is, it depends on how, where, and what you're recording. Let's break it down. Under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, you have the right to freedom of speech and freedom of the press. Courts have consistently ruled that this includes the right to record public officials, including law enforcement, when they are performing their duties in public. In 2011 in Glik versus Cunniffe, the First Circuit Court of Appeals held that a citizen had the right to record police officers in a public park. The court stated that this right is clearly established and applies to both private citizens and journalists. So yes, pulling out your phone to film an officer on the street, in a park, or during a traffic stop is generally protected. But here's where it gets tricky. Some states have wiretapping or eavesdropping laws, and they can affect how you record, especially audio. In these states, it's illegal to record a private conversation unless all parties consent. So what happens if you're recording the police in one of those states? Well, it depends on whether your recording is secret or obvious, and whether the setting is public or private. Most courts have held that when you're recording openly, especially in a public space where there's no reasonable expectation of privacy, you're not violating wiretapping laws. For example, in 2017 in Fields versus City of Philadelphia, the Third Circuit ruled that citizens have a First Amendment right to record public officials in public places, stating clearly, the First Amendment protects the act of photographing, filming, or otherwise recording police officers conducting their official duties in public. However, you can't interfere with their work. That's where people get into trouble. You have the right to record, but not the right to obstruct. You can't get in the officer's face, block their view, disrupt an arrest, or cause a public disturbance. Doing that could lead to charges like obstruction of justice, resisting arrest, or disorderly conduct, and those are serious. Now, what if a police officer tells you to stop recording? If you're standing at a reasonable distance and not interfering, you are within your rights to say, I'm exercising my constitutional right to record in public. I'm not interfering with your duties. Remain calm, don't escalate. And one more important point, officers cannot legally delete your footage or force you to unlock your phone without a warrant. Doing so would violate your Fourth Amendment right against unlawful searches and seizures. In 2014, this was confirmed in the landmark case Riley versus California, where the Supreme Court ruled that the police must obtain a warrant before accessing the contents of a phone, even after a lawful arrest. So let's recap. You can record police officers in public. You are protected by the First Amendment, as long as you're not interfering. In some states, secret audio recording may violate wiretapping laws, so be visible, be open, and be smart. If an officer challenges you, stay calm and know your rights. Thanks for taking a minute to learn. Subscribe and learn what matters in minutes.